Good afternoon from American Outdoor Adventure, LLC. Another non-pro tip. Wintertime is upon us and it is 12 degrees outside. So I figured I'd do a video on wintertime, depression, trying to keep yourself busy, try to help other people out, do things, find a hobby. So I'm just going to try to, go through what I go through and do through the winter times when it's, tough to get outside and do anything. So basically, my son, we got the gaming stations, of course we work on Xboxes, we try to fix them, we try to get the old ones, put new bands in them and, everything to try to get them working again. And that's his kind of hobby. And then we got the 3D printer over here. And then I got my office workstation here. Kitchen table, don't know where to put it. Was upstairs, we got another table, so I brought it down here so we can work on projects down here. Workout area needs to be used a lot more than what it is, but and I got my fishing station over here. Floor painting, model painting. My son does models too. He does model tanks and stuff like that. And then then we got our gun station, clean, build, whatever. And then we got the tool chest. And then we got the cool old refrigerator that still works, free, So then we got our spare bedroom in here, which is full of stuff. Stuff over here, another kind of partial gun room. And all my tools, that I keep down here because there's really nowhere else to put them. The garage is full, as you've previously seen from probably other videos. If you're cool enough to watch my videos, well, I guess if I'm cool enough for you guys to watch my videos, but that's the way it is, truly. And I appreciate every 5 views I get, but this channel is very honest up front, no edits. It is what it is, and I put it on there. But here's my sewing station I was building too. It was an old Konsu 210 I bought for $100. Worked on it, got it going, got it timed pretty well. Building a table so I can do some automotive interior. My son's got a 69 Rambler, straight 6 4-door, but we need to do the interior on it, so I figured why not? Nothing better to do, right? So, got a Juki. So, we'll work on that, and we'll get that going here hopefully soon. We'll get some material, get my table finished. Everything here is, on a budget, right? Piece by piece, whenever I get a moment, whenever I get the money, whenever I get a chance. Because, sometimes life isn't fair, life isn't fun. But you keep yourself busy, you keep going, you help other people, especially during the winter time, is something I think is very important, which is another reason why I'm doing this video. I'm not doing this video because I'm trying to show you what I have or anything, because I will never do that, because what I have is minute compared to other people's videos, professional videos, and I make no money off this. I have no sponsors. I just do it because I believe that, there's ordinary average people out there like me that, have speech impediments, hate to hear themselves talk, and, are not a perfectionist. I am a do it, let's find out what happens kind of guy. And, I don't do this for informational purposes. My videos are not on how to do things. It's probably more or less on how not to do things, but we'll leave it at that. But anyways, I try to show that things are possible, what you got. And we'll go through this. Like the 3D printer, these 2 tables are free, right? They were given to me. These couches were given to me, right? They were getting rid of them where I used to work in maintenance a long time ago during COVID, and they were just getting rid of stuff, getting the new stuff. So, TVs, we'll go to Sanyo over there. We've had since we built this house. But there's my son's models he builds. That was a neighbor threw it out, said it didn't have a remote. Well, I grabbed it, brought it over here, Like I said, tables are free. That chair was free. It was ripped. They were getting rid of it. That table was free. They were getting rid of it during the maintenance era, COVID era. Um, the weight bench, somebody was moving next door. They said we didn't want to take it with us. It was too much. I took it, right? So I was like, yeah, I'll take it. Dartboard was given to us. Most of the other stuff here is, just pieced together. I have all these 2x4s from when I was building this, room down here, the storage room, and I just used it for other things. And most of the stuff I have is off of Amazon, right? Air compressor, Amazon, painting, station, Amazon, old hair dryer, right? Stuff like that, and of course, all this is Amazon. This is, all this stuff's probably like $50. Not a major, but it's something to do, and that's the point of this whole thing. It's not about the money you spend. It's about doing things to stay active, keep your mind occupied, and just stop sitting and and thinking about things that you should be thinking about, like say, oh, I could have done this or I could have done that. You keep your mind busy, keep moving forward, don't stop. That's the main point. Don't get stuck up where you should have been, what I should have done, what I could have did, or any of that. So just take it from me, because I know. Ask me how I know. Well, that's probably another video that may probably never come out, because who wants to listen to me? I don't even want to listen to me nor look at me. That's why I'm not in the videos. So anyways, but it's just to show you that get out and help people, find hobbies, get together, stay active during the cold months when you can't get out of the house. Like I said, it's whether reading a book, it doesn't have to be extravagant, just reading a book, just doing something, taking up crafts, like me, like sewing. Am I a sewer? I am not. But guess what? I'm going to learn. Because you don't know how to do anything if you don't learn how, start doing anything. So that's the whole problem. Start doing something, no matter what it is. So I try to do a lot of different things, because I believe a lot of different things help you in the long run, not only financially. Instead of paying somebody else to do it, you can do it yourself. It may not be as professional, but hey, it gets done. So many more videos to follow from here to AOA LLC. Nothing major, like I said. These are unscripted, uncut. I just pick it up, start recording. I don't edit. I don't throw in cool things or do cool stuff. I just ramble on, and hopefully you guys can get something from this. Nothing, inspiring. I try to be, but I'm just an ordinary average dad who's got 2 boys, and we try to make things happen with what we got. Sometimes, finding something free, it works, right? So, because it's free, doesn't mean it's worthless. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean anything. I'll put it to use, right? I got a couple more tables in there that have stuff stacked on, and this shelf, a plastic shelf, somebody's giving away. You know what I mean? It's just these shelves here, they were given away, right? All these shelves were given away at some point in time, right? They were old. The boards are all kind of, flaking a little bit, but hey, it still holds the stuff. So just open your mind a little bit. Don't be afraid. Step out of your box, and try new things. Except for stuff's gonna get you in trouble. Anyways, maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should erase that. But no, just do good-hearted things. Help people, talk with people, call people, stay in touch with people, visit with people. Ask people to do things. If you notice somebody's down and out, invite them. Ask them. Ask them what their hobbies are. Maybe you guys can get together and do things together. There's just so many possibilities. Instead of sitting around in the cold weather and gloomy and, just being, depressed and unsure about things. So please just, stay strong, do good things, throw up some videos that are, of course, going to be way better than mine. So that's something you don't have to worry about, because that's why I do these videos. You see my videos and you're like, That dude's a moron, right? Of course, but that's okay. You know what I mean? I'm doing it so you can do it, and you'll probably do it much better than me. So when you can talk better than me, more articulate than me, you know, all that good stuff. So like I said, just keep moving forward. Try to do positive things, and try to help other people. Thank you for listening. Hopefully I get more than 5 views. I don't know, but anyways, I have another video, you know, trying to come out with the Rapsodo, you know, trying to put one down here when it's cold. It's like 12 degrees out in the garage. So hopefully, you know, I'll be able to get something worked out and keep sharing. So I appreciate your time. Thank you for watching. And, you know, stay positive. Thank you from American Outdoor Adventure LLC.